We're back with another episode of Naija Football Talk after a somewhat interesting week of international football where we saw a lot of action going down, a lot of comedy in all of the various qualifiers that happened. But now we're back with club football, the football that we all love, football that we all enjoy, and we're here on another episode of Naija Football Talk to talk about the best bits of what happened in game week 4 across Europe. I have with me as usual Kolade and Bolu. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm great.
Yeah, finally Arsenal got a win, and I can see the smiles all over you, man.
It's scary.
It's called a tapping goal.
But it was
A goal is a goal. A goal is a goal.
The 3 points.
That's what Arsenal has become these days.
And how are you doing now, Bolu?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Coming off a very good weekend.
Yeah, coming off a very good nice one. Now, unfortunately, me, the Barcelona fan, didn't get to witness any action, but there is the UCL which is coming up, and we're really looking forward to it. Please let us not start. Thank you very much.
I am Lynch.
Special thanks to our sponsors, stopbets.com.ng, for helping us once again to put this show in front of your screens, and also thank you for staying with us up to this point in time. When we come back from this short break, we'll be going straight into the show.
Looking for the best websites for your next game day stake? Topbets.com.ng has the juice on all of Nigeria's best gaming websites from Nigeria's biggest gaming companies. Compare the odds and markets and make the best choice for you before you make your next stake. Check out game day reviews, previews, top tips, and predictions to help you make the best choice.
Alright, welcome back to Naija Football Talk. My name is Chima. Of course, I have Kolade and Bolu with me on set, and we're going to be looking at the biggest action from across Europe's game week 4. And the biggest news to come out of every league that was played was Ronaldo's return to the Theatre of Dreams, Ronaldo's return to Old Trafford in the red of Manchester United. And you guys know how much of a buzz this has generated in the football world from his transfer. Even though some of us have our own, biases, and some of us have our own hot takes about it, but it was quite a sight. Let's not disagree on that point, because it was quite a sight. So, how did it feel seeing Ronaldo again playing in Premier League now that it has become bigger than what it used to be when he was there?
Wow. I'll start with the moment where he walked onto the pitch. I said in our last video that yes, I do love Ronaldo, but I hate Manchester United. But you can't just deny that moment where he was walking into the pitch with Peter Drury's voice.
Wow.
It was just magical. Talking about him being a walking
walk of art.
It was wow. It was just
brilliant poetry.
Yeah, brilliant poetry. It was just nice. And then when he finally scored his goals,
I saw old men doing
I did too, to be honest.
It was a wonderful sight, even as a rival fan, even as a Barcelona fan. It was a wonderful sight to see Manchester United and Ronaldo again in sync. And let us look at his performance in the game. How will you rate his second debut, Kolade?
Over 10?
Well, okay, just give it a rating over 100. Let's say over 100.
Based on everything that happened, Ronaldo, he got the brace. I would just give him over 100. Being unbiased here, I'll just give him 80, because it was Newcastle. Come on, that game, it was just Newcastle, and he should have scored a hat-trick. If you ask me, he should have scored a hat-trick there. So, but it was nice to see there was this aura of. There was this confidence going forward that Manchester United had, not just Ronaldo, but the fact that he resonated around his teammates. They were confident.
And they forgot that they didn't have a DM.
No, we are coming there. Let's not rush. Let's
make them happy.
We are coming there. Ronaldo is still the content now. Let's talk about Ronaldo. We'll come back to the DM, but yeah, Ronaldo was, I think, on a serious note, it was spotless. Like, he did everything right. He made all the right moves, and he did pretty well in that lone striker formation. So happy days, but I think it's just only against Newcastle. Don't get too excited.
Well, truly, don't get too excited. But at the same time, you can't get excited, because Ronaldo will definitely guarantee you goals, and guarantee you big goals too, for that matter. Moments. So yeah, Ronaldo played in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And do you think that, judging by how the Premier League is right now, that formation is going to bring out the best in Ronaldo? Him playing alone up front looks very weird, actually. So do you think he's going to bring out the best of him?
Yeah, I think that's the best setup for him to perform as the centre forward, because if you put him in a 4-3-3, he has to work hard to get the ball, and Ronaldo is not going to do that. So you need to have a supporting cast of 5 midfielders.
Not that he's not going to do
behind
that.
him.
He can't do that no more, man.
He shouldn't even be doing that at his age. He's here to score goals, you know. So it's best for him to have a supporting cast behind him where he does the roaming, and you know, if you notice, these 2 goals came from the half left position, and that's where he's going to get most of his goals this season. And you know, he can also drift to the wide and you know, find space.
Just to add to what Bolu said, you know, if we think Cavani has good movement, Ronaldo has even better movement. Yeah, and you saw that first goal. It seemed very simple, but like the way he timed his run, it made sure it was not offside.
And he was the only one who reacted to the goal.
Yeah, it was
none of the Newcastle defenders were even trying to clear.
Exactly. So all of that combined, when you have players like Sancho, Fernandes, Pogba all over, it makes sense for him to just be
up front, and then that they can provide all the service that he needs.
Pretty much.
Awesome. So do you think that Manchester United's gameplay, judging from how they played against Newcastle, do you think it's a thing of worry for, you know, other title contenders like Chelsea, Arsenal, mistake.
Come on.
Like Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Do you think it's a thing of worry for them? Yeah.
Manchester United fans, before you get tired of yourselves, Ronaldo won the Serie A goal scorer last season, but he didn't win the league. So I think that will give you an idea of what to expect. He's going to score goals, of course. We know Ronaldo is special, but to win the league, that's a different ball game entirely. You have to have the squad, not just the squad. You have to have the quality players that can perform against different kinds of opponents. And Manchester United do not have that. Let us be very honest with ourselves. They do not have enough backing in the core area of the pitch, which is the midfield.
I don't want you to give Manchester United fans hope. They have the team. They have the best assistant in the world right now.
No, of course they do.
Pogba,
I'm saying to win the league title, they do not have.
They are favourites to win the title. Let's, for posterity's sake, they are favourites. Don't say they don't have the team. So they are favourites to win.
Bolo is being objective and saying that Manchester United's gameplay should not scare anybody, but you are just being.
I'm being realistic. On paper. How many?
I didn't see what I said. I didn't see what I just said that he won the Golden Boot and his team didn't win Serie A. Lukaku also didn't win the Golden Boot, but he won Serie A instead. So that gives you an idea that it's going to be the Ronaldo show. Yes, you're going to enjoy Ronaldo's clutch moments. All these, Ronaldo's going to. We know what Ronaldo is going to do, but Manchester United going to that next level of being what they were before.
Man, it's going to definitely be the Ronaldo show, and it's something that we're all looking forward to as the EPL becomes even more interesting. Like you mentioned, Romelu Lukaku is also on fire, and then we also have Mohamed Salah, who is silently
might I also add to United fans, if they noticed the other day, their owner Avram Glazer was at the stadium. That was his first appearance at Old Trafford in 2 years. In over 2 years. That's his first appearance at Old Trafford in over 2 years. And you remember, this is the same man in April during the whole European Super League issue. This was someone who they tracked down in the US and asked him if he was going to apologize to United fans, and he had nothing to say about that. But this is apparently decided after 2 years. And obviously, the Ronaldo signing was just to try to distract the fans and make them forget about the whole
even our issues. Man, Bonner boy, our Naija man
was there. You know, so I think it is all just a smoke screen to make United forget about the pressing issues. And
regardless, it's still the Ronaldo show, and it's going to be
Manchester United fans will say I didn't tell you.
It's going to be the Ronaldo show throughout the season, and then it's going to be quite a banger of an EPL season, because we're going to finally see a proper title race that we haven't seen in quite a while. Pep Guardiola now has to buckle up and everything. So when we come back from this short break, we'll be looking at other action from across the Premier League. Stay with us.
Looking for the best websites for your next game day stake? TopBets.com.ng has the juice on all of Nigeria's best gaming websites from Nigeria's biggest gaming companies. Compare the odds and markets and make the best choice for you before you make your next stake. Check out game day reviews, previews, top tips, and predictions to help you make the best choice.
It was the Ronaldo show this weekend in the Premier League, but there are other action that happened in the Premier League, the biggest league in Europe. And there was Liverpool, there was Chelsea, there was even West Ham, and there was Arsenal. Sorry.
There was a relegation
There was
6 pointer.
the El Clasico.
Mention us
The
now.
El
What's going on?
Clasico.
What's going on?
The El Clasico happened, and Arsenal finally got off the mark. There was a lot of action. There was
Thank God, though.
There was
Hey,
Ronaldo scored before you this season. You are not ashamed.
There was
Ronaldo scored 45 minutes into his Premier League
coming
debut.
back.
There was
Second
Nuno
Premier League
Tottenham.
debut.
There was Nuno Tottenham capitulating to Crystal Palace, and
Good news. Good news.
it was quite the week. But let us start off slow. Let us look at Ivan Toney. There's a reason why I want us to look at him. He was a very prolific striker last season in the Championship, and now he has finally come to the Premier League, and he hasn't really lit up the Premier League as people expected him to. But last match he showed glimpses of his quality, holding up play, playing key passes that Mbuma was just wasting everything. So what do you think? What are you expecting from Ivan Toney this season? Do you think he's going to, get back into the flow of things, or do you think it's just going to be a quiet season for him?
It's a bit of a difficult one, because personally I was expecting a lot from him based on last season. He came in with lots of promise, and I was even expecting him to set the league on fire immediately. But I think his struggles is not just individual, but based on the team. I watched a bit of Brentford games, and it seems to me that they start their games too intense and they just drop off. Yeah, they drop off.
The same thing that happens with Leeds United.
Something similar that happens to Leeds. So they start off too intense and they just drop off. So if someone like Ivan Toney does not capitalize on those chances within
the first 20
they are just dropping off. And so when you, aside Arsenal that gave Brentford bonus points, when you consider those that they've played against, I think it's just the setup of the team that's making him struggle. Once they can get back to form, I think he will pick up as well.
But like I said, he showed some glimpses of quality, and this is something that we can always look forward to. I'm saying I don't think he will last in Brentford beyond this season. Probably get picked up next season by another Premier League club. Who knows? But let's
Chelsea.
move on.
But that depends on how well Brentford do as a team.
That depends on how well they do. But also,
because Bamford didn't leave Leeds because Leeds did so well.
Bamford is not a Tony anyway. So let's look at Chelsea's win. It was a routine win for you guys. Nobody.
Yeah, but it was very hard fought, to be honest. 3-0 looks good on paper, but it was very difficult.
Nobody really expected you guys to lose to Aston Villa, thanks to Mendy, thanks to your defense. But another thing I would like to point out is the fact that despite you guys having Edouard Mendy at the back, you still have conceded 16 shots and he has saved all 16 of them. It's so funny that a team that is being touted as one of the best defenses in the Premier League is conceding that much shots. So what do you think is the problem?
That doesn't matter. It's what matters is the clean sheet counts, and what the record says we've considered only one goal this season, which was the penalty. So conceding shots I don't care about that really, as long as we keep keeping clean sheets and getting.
But don't you think it's going to be a problem eventually if you your backline is that penetrable that anybody can take a shot and it's probably going to be on target?
I don't particularly think it's penetrable, to be honest, because looking at our games, most of those shots have been from outside the box. Especially against Liverpool, all the shots were from outside the box. Against Aston Villa, okay, there was this one that Watkins got in front of the rounded Mendy and it was a Thiago Silva block where they've not really been those moments of serious pressure. So far this season, I've just whenever we are defending, I've always just had this confidence, and no matter if they get a shot, Mendy, it will not go past Mendy. That's been true so far, and as long as that keeps happening, I really don't care about shots that I consider.
You're lucky, like I said, that you have someone like Edouard Mendy at the between the six for you guys, and Romelu Lukaku always scoring, and it's going to be Lukaku versus Ronaldo like it was last year in the Serie A, and the Premier League is going to enjoy that rivalry. Let's move on to Liverpool, who have been silently climbing up the table. A lot of people, a lot of fans are ignoring them. I don't know what the reason is. What do you think the reason is that fans are not really discussing or paying attention to Liverpool this season?
I think the reason why fans are not really talking about Liverpool is their quiet summer compared to the likes of City. City had the marquee signing, Chelsea had the marquee signing, Manchester United had 3 decent signings, great signings. But if you look at the so-called Big Six, Liverpool were the only ones that were pretty quiet. So people were expecting, the other clubs have strengthened.
Even Tottenham strengthened
better than Liverpool. So I think the fact that people were thinking Liverpool are coming in with the same players from last season.
They should not be paying attention.
They were not really
well, it may be something that may shock fans as time goes on, but let us just hope that no other injuries.
I'm speaking about Liverpool, just a quick recovery to Harvey Elliott.
Let's hope that no other injuries like that of Harvey Elliott happens to any of their players this season. Career-ending, season-ending injuries.
I think they have a bit of ill luck there, similar with Van Dijk last season and now Elliott. It's just unfortunate.
Let's just hope they don't have any more, so that to not give anybody excuses again to say that their team was not complete and all of that. So let's look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has been the highest chance creator in the Premier League this season. But Liverpool fans, I'm sorry, your boy is a shit defender. Like he's terrible at his primary duties, but going forward, he's actually very good. Do you think this thing is going to be what's it called? Is going to be sustainable for club this season? I mean, now that they are going to have to defend a lot because a lot of teams have boosted up attacking wise, and they will now be short one in defense. Do you think it's going to be sustainable for club?
First of all, and Klopp even said it some days ago that he is the best right back in the world, which I quite agree with. And I must also remind you personally that he's better than your right back, Serginho Dest.
Please.
For sure, he's better than him.
My boy is still up and coming.
Now that we have those two out of the way, Trent, Liverpool have won the Premier League and the Champions League with Trent at right back. So it's a matter of their style of play, the system they play. Allows Trent to be the creative force.
Not just Trent, but even
Robertson as well. But Trent, Trent
basically,
is so peculiar.
It's almost like their attack system is like a 2-3-5. Anytime they're going forward,
the fullbacks
with the three at front, staying in the front, and the fullbacks providing the
width. So they've been so successful with that system. So they would always, they know how to get their points. They know how to get their wins. This is not a developing team. This is a team that's developed over years. So I think they would always be alright, but now that, like you said, rightly said, teams are now aware of the fact that they saw what happened to Trent last season, and they'll be looking forward to, trying to get more weaknesses out of his game, trying to attack Liverpool with that. But I think Liverpool they've been fine thus far like that, so I think they will.
It's going to be another season of they will be fine, I guess.
Attacking fullbacks are the order of the day now in football. So
let us look at Mohamed Salah, finally a PL Centurion, a member of the 100 club in Premier League. Congratulations to the Egyptian King, the Egyptian Messi as they like to call him, but I kind of disagree, but let's go on. Now he's finally a PL Centurion, and he's proven to be one of Liverpool's most important players, not just in recent years, but in history, because he has been at the core of their most successful period in modern history. So do you think Liverpool can keep hold of him at any point in time?
I don't think it's more of Liverpool. I think it's more of Salah. He has won the Premier League, he has won the Champions League, he has won Golden Boot. It's about the challenge, whether he wants a new challenge somewhere else or he wants to achieve more and become, as he is, I think he's already a Liverpool legend.
And he's close to 30 already.
It's close to 30, so it depends. I don't think any other club right now, probably only, I won't say Barca, no offense, but like only probably Real Madrid can give him a bigger stage than Liverpool at the moment. So it's more down to the player than the club
itself. All right, let's move over to Arsenal, finally getting off the mark by winning the El Clasico, beating Norwich by a long goal to nil, and
a scrappy goal.
Whatever, man. The 3 points are in the bag, and finally they've left the bottom.
We don't score. They blame us. Now we score. They said it's scrappy goal. Right on.
You beat Norwich by 1.
Well, let us look at individual player performances. Tomiyasu stood out. Pepe was. I won't say he was
Pepe
the
was
eyesore. I won't say he was the eyesore, but he was problematic. So let's start off with Tomiyasu. What do you think of his performance?
Absolutely, I was pleased. I was pleased with him 100%. He didn't put in any wrong foot. He won 7 out of 8 aerial duels, and he missed 1 or 2 passes. He misplaced 1 or 2 passes, but that was about it. What made me particularly pleased with him was the fact that he just came from a long trip from Japan, 2 days. And he was still fit enough to start the game. In fact, Arteta had to bench him simply because he didn't want cramps from a long flight. He wanted to play the full 90 minutes. So this is already showing that we have a fighter, we have someone that is ready to put in his all. I watched some of his clips on Bologna again, and I saw that this guy is a fighter. We barely lack someone that wins area duels at us now since the days of Matseka, but now I think we have a solid right back that would, and it will also help whoever plays on the right flank because he's also very athletic as well. So I'm pleased with him.
There were also a lot of OMG moments from the game. Like I mentioned Pepe, who was like literally at the center of most of them.
Yeah.
But do you think now actually, because a lot of people like to place the blame on the coach, do you think that Arteta is to blame for the kind of football that Arsenal attackers play? Bolu?
Well, you can blame both. You can say the setup has not been particularly helping the players, but the quality of the players has also not shown, because what they work on the training ground, you're depending on the quality to come through on match day, and so far it hasn't been successful. So you have to, you can't really single out anyone. You have to blame both parties, because
at the moment I think it's more of the players though. At the moment, I think it's more of the players though, because when you look at when you look at the numbers don't lie. We had 30 shots against Norwich, only 7 were on target and just 1 got in. Manchester United, for contrast, they had just 21 shots against Newcastle. The same 7 were on target and they scored 4. That shows their efficiency. This game against Leeds, where they scored 5, they had just 15 shots and they converted 5. So that shows you how efficient they are and how wasteful Arsenal in front of goal. Pepe is a very brilliant player, but he lacks that end product, just similar to somebody like Traore. If you do all the step overs in the world and you don't have the end product, it's a waste.
And he lacks the confidence to push him and want to do more in the Premier League.
I don't like when people associate Pepe and lack of confidence, because this man literally carried.
He plays. He
carried
his game.
On
his game
back,
is based
back
on
relevance.
That's where
all those things, all those moves. He needs that
the
confidence.
The atmosphere in the team also comes to play. Arsenal have not been playing well, so you can expect that everybody confidence in the team is low. You saw the way they celebrated one goal against Norwich, so that showed you now maybe moving forward we can see a stronger.
But did you see anything from the match that gives you hope for a better future at Arsenal?
Well, yeah, I can see Arsenal will win games. They will definitely win games. Whether they will be in the top 4 or top 6, I don't know, but they will definitely win games because there was promise. We just need these players to be more consistent. I also like the pressing from Odegaard as well. We showed some, and Ramsdale particularly impressed me. It was a tough decision for Arteta to bench Leno, and I was pleased with Ramsdale. He showed so much confidence in goal, and I'm happy to see him push Leno for the number 1 spot.
Awesome. That's it. It was quite an action-filled weekend in the Premier League. We also had Mikel Antonio scattering almost everybody's
FPL. My FPL ruined my FPL to bits.
Ruined almost everybody.
Bolu captained him -2.
-2.
I captained him as well, man.
I could have just captained Lukaku.
It was crazy, like seeing the Premier League player of the month of August and then believing that he's going to do something.
His first game in September.
And then he decided to now mess it up for everybody and every FPL manager. Well, let's hope that he learns his lesson and he gets back his scoring boots when he finally runs out his suspension. And yeah, special thanks to our sponsor stopbets.com.ng for doing this for us. And thank you also for sticking with us up to this point in time. When we come back from this short break, we'll be wrapping up the show. And that's it on this week's episode of Naija Football Talk. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And please share this content with your friends, family, your circles, your colleagues, and even your teammates in case you play football professionally or on the amateur level. Thank you once more to our sponsor, stopbets.com.ng, for helping us keep this show on the air. Before you make your next stake, make sure you visit topbets.com.ng so that you can get the best prediction, tips, analysis, and more to help you smile to the bank when that time comes. Please also help us get to 2K subscribers. We're on the road to 2K. We're gradually growing, and with your help, that's how we can get there. Thank you so much for helping us grow our community, and special shout out to everybody. You're all our fans of the week this week. Thank you so much for staying with us, and until we come your way with another beautiful episode of Naija Football Talk from Kolade, Bolo, and myself, stay G.